Hey guys, it's Megan. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made these DIY gifts for pet lovers, which basically they're just pet themed gifts. And these were all super cheap and easy to make, and I think that these would make awesome gifts for the holiday season. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. So the first DIY are these paw print ornaments, and I made one for each of my pets. So the first one was my dog, Briar. This one is my cat, Thomas, and this one is my cat, Lucky. So to make the paw print ornaments, I started out by rolling out some air dry clay, and then I had whatever animal that I was doing, and I did all three of my pets. And here, as you can see, I did my cat Thomas, and he was not very cooperative, but I eventually got it. And once I had their paw print in the clay, I went ahead and I cut out around it so that it was a nicer circle shape. And I also poked a hole in the top of the clay so that I could hang it like an ornament. And I did the exact same thing with my dog Briar, and he was a lot easier than Thomas to get his footprint. And I also did one with my cat Lucky, and she was the hardest. She was just not having it, but we eventually got a paw print from her. And I let the ornaments dry for about 3 days before painting them with some acrylic paint, and I painted them to match whatever animal that I was doing's fur color. So for Briar, I made it black because he is a black lab and border collie mix, and for Thomas, I made it like this tan color, and then I put stripes on it because that's how his fur looks. And for Lucky, I just made it gray because she is gray. And once the ornaments were dry, I went ahead and flipped them over and painted them the same color on the backside. And you may also need more than one coat for your ornaments, but for Lucky's, I didn't because of the paint, I guess, I don't know. But for Briar's and Thomas's, I did need 2 coats for each side. And once the base color was dry, I went ahead and painted on the inside of the paw prints with a color. And so for Lucky, I did purple because she doesn't have a collar, and purple's my favorite color, and she's my cat. For Thomas, I did blue because his collar is blue, and for Briar, I did red because his collar is red. And so here are the finished ornaments, and I think that they came out so good, and this is definitely a fun project to do if you're up for the challenge this holiday season. And so the next idea is to do a drawing of someone's pet and to have their pet sign it with some ink. So for this, you're going to need a non-toxic washable ink pad, and I got this from Amazon. I will link it down below for you guys, and make sure that it is non-toxic because you don't want to hurt your pet in case any of the ink stays on there, or your pet is uncooperative like mine are, and they just don't want to let you clean off their paw. And excuse my messy desk, but I was prepared this time. I had a treat right there for Thomas, and he's my one that I film just because he's the easiest to film, I don't know, for some reason. And so I tried to get his paw in the ink. That was a battle within itself. And then trying to get a paw print on the table, it just was not working. It was, just the paw prints were coming out so bad. And he got so many treats though, like this cat is lucky. Okay, so I realized that putting his paw directly on the ink was not helping because he would just try to run away and I would get a print like that. So what I did was I lined up a few pieces of paper in the direction that he kept going because he kept getting these nice paw prints on the floor. As you can see, there's one right there, but these wipe up pretty easily. And I got some nice paw prints. I actually got 2 nice ones. So thank you, Thomas. I know you're very pissed off at me right now, but thank you. Next, I took this picture frame, and I got this one at the dollar store, and I just removed the plastic and removed everything in it, and then I took the glass part of the picture frame and I traced it onto a piece of scrapbook paper. And next, I took the picture that I drew and I cut that out, and I drew this picture using a tutorial from Art a la carte, so I will link you guys to her tutorial down below. And once I had that cut out, I went ahead and took the paw print that we took earlier. I found the best one, and then I cut that one out as well. Then I attached both pieces to the scrapbook paper with a glue stick. Then I just put everything back into the picture frame and I was done. And I am really happy with how this came out. I think that it came out super cute, and I definitely want to make one for each one of my pets. And the next DIY is this cat phone holder, and the cool thing about this is that you can change the colors to make it look like any one of your friends or family members' pets, and I think this makes a super cute gift. I'm using the same air dry clay that I used to make the paw print ornaments, and I'm just taking out a bunch of clay and shaping it into the shape of a cat phone holder. And this is one of those things that you just kind of have to do it. Like, it's not that easy to explain, but once you actually get started and do it, it is pretty easy. So I basically made a ball of clay, and then I made the tail part by just pulling up some of that clay, and then I went ahead and made some ears in the front. And the bad thing about this camera angle is that you can only see the top part of what I'm doing, but I'm going to insert some pictures of the phone holder so that you guys get a good idea of what the shape is like. Again, it's really easy to make. It's a pretty simple shape. And you're just going to want to keep smoothing out the clay and manipulating it so that it looks like a cat phone holder. And I used water so that I could smooth out any cracks in the clay. And once I was happy with it, I took my phone and made sure that the tail was standing at the angle that I wanted my phone to be leaning at, if that makes sense. And just like with the ornaments, I waited about 3 days for this to dry, and then I went ahead and painted it. And I painted this cat to look sort of like my sister's cat, which is Thomas. I'm not sure that it actually really looks like him, but you know, I tried. So I started out with a coat of light brown, and I'm just putting that all over the phone holder. And once the top of the phone holder is dry, you can go ahead and flip it over and do the bottom part. And when that was dry, for some reason, I decided to pick up the phone holder by the ear, and as you can see, I broke the ear off. So when you're making this, make sure to make the ears a little bit thicker so that this does not happen to you, or just don't be stupid and pick it up by the ear. So I went ahead and I super glued it back on, and I had to repaint over it, but it's really no big deal. And once I had that situation all taken care of, it was time to paint on the face. So to make the muzzle of the cat, is that what that's called? I think so. Anyways, I just took some white paint and I mixed it with a little bit of the color that I used for the base coat of his fur, and then I just drew on a triangle shape. Then I painted on the stripes with some dark brown paint. I painted some on the top of his head, some on the sides of his head, and some on the back part of the cat. I also painted the tip of his tail brown, and I did a few stripes on the tail. And then I painted on the face, which of course was mostly out of frame, but basically I just did 2 dots for the eyes and then 2 U shapes next to each other for the mouth. And I also added whites to his eyes, but this is optional, and I think that next time I would leave those off. But anyways, here is the finished cat phone holder, and I think that this came out super cute, and it's a really just fun and useful DIY. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and comment down below which DIY from this video was your favorite. I think that mine was definitely the picture frame one, just because I thought that it came out so good, but I honestly love all of these. And yeah, so if you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one, and as always, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Musical.ly, Tumblr, and YouNow. They are all WillerMegs. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!